Wedding days are full of magical moments, but they're also full of potential disasters. A torn dress, a missing button, or a sudden headache can throw everything off. The difference between a smooth wedding day and a stressful one is being prepared. That's where a wedding emergency kit comes in. Hey guys, my name's Colton Simmons and I'm a wedding photographer with over 12 years of experience. And I've witnessed firsthand how small emergencies can become big problems. But with the right tools, you can become the person who saves the day. Not just for the couple, but planners, vendors, and even guests. In today's video, I'll walk you through my complete wedding emergency kit, the must-have essentials, why they matter, and how this one kit could set you apart in the industry. Every wedding professional knows the unexpected always happens. The question is, will you be ready when it does? I've been at weddings where a simple sewing kit saved a ripped dress, or adhesive hooks turned a hotel room into the perfect dress hanging spot. These small moments add up, and when you come through, people remember you. That's why I like to keep my entire kit in a bag like this, just because it allows for me to be able to reach for it whenever it's needed, and I don't need to rummage through my bag for the spot that has the bobby pins or the spot that has this. Everything's right here, and all I have to do is pull it out and unzip it, and you just have to see the faces of the mom of the bride or the bridesmaids when they see everything that you have inside here. It's the little things like this that will slowly start to build onto your reputation over time. So what exactly is in my emergency kit? Here are the exact items I carry to every wedding. On the top of that list is a sewing kit. I can't tell you how many times a groomsman has ripped the crotch of their pants, or maybe the hook of the bride's dress has come off. I think it was just 3 months ago where this sewing kit was used for this exact purpose. This emergency kit got used so much at this wedding, the bride and groom had to ship it to me the next day because it got left behind. The next item on the list is body tape. I can't tell you how many times throughout a day I hear a bridemaid mention that she needs some. All I have to do is go into the kit to grab it, and problem solved. The next item is a variety of bobby pins. You want to make sure that you have blonde and brunette bobby pins, because the last thing you want to do is have a blonde bride put brunette bobby pins in her hair. So I always have a little travel size case of both colors in the case that somebody needs it in the middle of the wedding. The next item is one that I find that most people don't think to have, and it's a set of mini crochet hooks. Throughout the years, you've probably seen the mother of the bride button up the dress with a crochet hook, but oftentimes the couple doesn't think to have a crochet hook, or their mom doesn't think to bring one on the morning of the wedding. So to have a set of these small mini crochet hooks means that you can have something portable that they can use, especially when the bride has 30 to 40 buttons that need to be buttoned up, and she also needs to get in the limo to get to the ceremony. So make sure to not miss out on including one of these in your kit. Another thing you might not think to have in your kit is adhesive wall hooks. I like to have these because sometimes you're in a location that doesn't really have a place for you to hang the dress, and to have these hooks, you can find the best location in the room, peel off the back, stick it to the wall, and now you have a place to hang the dress to be able to get that infamous dress hanging photo. The next item on the list is a mini can of hairspray. Whether it's a super windy day or the middle of a 90-degree day in July, the bride's hair is never going to look like it did when she got out of the chair. So by having an extra can on you, you ensure that one of the bridesmaids or even yourself can help touch up her hair in the middle of portraits in the case that curls might have fallen flat or she has some flyaways that need to be touched up. The next item on the list is a must-have, and that's a stain remover pen. Whether it's the traditional Tide pen or an Oxy pen, whatever brand you like the best, just make sure that you have one of these to be able to touch up stains on a groom's shirt or a bridesmaid's dress. When it comes to the bride's dress, I always steer away from using something like this and always opt for something like a cup of soda water, just because you're dealing with a dress that's way more expensive and way more delicate than a rented shirt from a tuxedo place or the bridesmaid's dress. So make sure to never use one of these pens on the bride's actual dress. And next on the list, we have safety pins. Sometimes you need a safety pin to hold things together in a crunch when you don't have time for the aunt to be able to come and sew up the back of the bride's dress because she needs to walk down the aisle in the ceremony in 2 minutes. A safety pin is something that can come in the clutch and button up a situation, obviously no pun intended. Another thing you definitely want to include in this kit is blister bandages. For most of the people on the wedding day, they're wearing their shoes for probably the first or second time, and shoes can be one of the most unpredictable things of whether or not they're going to leave a blister on your feet until you've worn them for a few hours. So having a pack of blister bandages in your kit allow for you to save the day when you overhear the groom talking about how his loafers are digging into the back of his ankle. So make sure you do not skip out on these. Make sure that you have a mini emergency kit that has all the basic supplies in the case that somebody gets cut, and we need to make sure that the groom's finger doesn't bleed bleed all over the bride's white dress. And another essential is making sure that you have an array of different pain relief medications from ibuprofen to Tylenol, and make sure that you cover the array because you never know if somebody might be allergic to ibuprofen and they might need to take an aspirin on the day of the wedding. So whenever somebody has a headache, you're able to jump in and save the day. I also like to keep some antacid tablets in my kit, as you never know when an upset stomach can make or break moments of the wedding. And last but not least in my kit, I always like to have a little can of mints, because this is one of those things where if you're overhearing a conversation of someone saying, oh my gosh, I didn't like that hors d'oeuvre and I can't get that taste out of my mouth, all you have to do is whip out a can of mints and say, here you go. And these little things, as crazy as it may sound, add up and leave lasting impressions on people. These might seem small, but the impact they have is huge. I've nearly had groomsmen miss photos because of a broken button and bridesmaids struggling to walk because of blisters. Having a fix on hand makes all the difference. Every wedding photographer shows up with their camera and lenses, but the ones who truly stand out, they bring more than just photography, they bring solutions. That's where an emergency kit can be a game changer. It's one thing to take great photos, it's another to be the person who steps in when things go wrong. And trust me, people notice. The bride's family, the wedding planner, and even guests will remember when you were the one who saved the day. I can't tell you how many times I've had a bride's sister or a bridesmaid pull me aside during the reception and say, hey, I really appreciate what you were able to do for my sister earlier. We had a wedding photographer for my wedding and she was great and she took amazing photos, but the things that you stepped in and helped take charge in when it came time for Steve ripping his pants in the middle of family photos, if you didn't have that sewing kit on hand, we would have gotten so behind the timeline and I know it would have ruined my sister's day. And when you can help to alleviate moments like that, it's only going to do wonders for your business in the future, and it makes sure that your client's experience is something that they'll never forget. When a wedding planner sees you stepping in with a stain removing pen before anyone even panics, they remember. When a mother of a bride sees you saving the day with a sewing kit, she tells her friends. When a bridesmaid sees you hand over bobby pins just before the first dance, she'll be raving about you to her fiance when it comes time for her to get married. These are the moments that turn into referrals, 5-star reviews, and word-of-mouth recommendations. And if you want to instantly build trust with your client, mention in your pre-wedding meeting that you come prepared with this emergency kit. It'll give them that extra level of comfort knowing that you are there for more than just photos. It shows them that you've thought about their entire experience. And when couples feel safe and taken care of, they trust you more, which means better access, better collaboration, and ultimately, they're gonna feel amazing when they're in front of your camera, getting them the best photos possible. Having an emergency kit is one thing, but managing it well makes all the difference. Here's how to keep it efficient and ready for any situation. You want to make sure that you keep it organized. That's why I opt for a little pouch that has a bunch of different dividers and pockets in it. This allows me to have a section for everything, and I know exactly where I can find the blister bandages, or where the mints are going to be, or where the sewing kit is. You also want to make sure that you restock it regularly. If you have a wedding where all the bridesmaids needed bobby pins, make sure before you go out to your next wedding that you go through and just do inventory on the kit, and make sure that you don't promise having an emergency kit and when it comes time to use it, the items aren't even there to be used. And my last tip when it comes to this emergency kit is make sure that you're proactive. I always preach situational awareness and understanding everything that's going on around you. So if you overhear somebody talking about a situation where the emergency kit can come in to help, take the first step without them having to ask for help. A quick pro tip is to keep this kit in the same place in your bag every time. That way, if something happens and you're in the middle of photos, you can direct your second shooter to go look for it, and if they know where it is based off of where it always is, they'll be able to get it quickly and get back to help out right away. At the end of the day, a wedding emergency kit is one of the easiest ways to elevate your brand. It's not just about fixing problems, it's about showing couples, planners, and vendors that you're prepared for anything. And that kind of professionalism sticks with people. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it super helpful. If you'd like a printout to keep in your office of all the items that I put in my kit, I have a link down in the description where you can download the full PDF with links to all of the items, so make sure to give that a click. And as always, make sure to like the video and leave a comment down below letting me know how you've stepped in and fixed an emergency on a wedding day. And until the next one, guys, see you later.